as far as the food's concerned, I feel like that was, I mean, I scored. I don't think you can go to a better mission as far as food is concerned. I mean, I know you probably love Argentinian food, but um, yeah, dude. I mean, we had being able to serve in Texas, which is like the home of barbecue, steak, brisket. I mean, you have so many good places there. These different smokehouses that they make the best food. Some of the members, I mean, actually homemade barbecue that's been smoked over hickory wood at 175 for 24 hours. Oh man, I'm telling you, some of these members ruined me. Like I can't go eat barbecue anywhere and be satisfied with it. I have to go to their house specifically, and then finally I can feel okay with it. And so, I mean, that you have the barbecue side, and then Hispanic. I was expecting the whole Tex-Mex thing, but I mean, of course it exists, but it's more like with white people, you get the whole Tex-Mex aspect. I love burritos. That's one of my favorite types of food before the mission, and I think I ate one on the mission that was made by a Hispanic. They just don't eat that there, and so my favorite foods that I think I got introduced to. I remember we always called them taquitos. In the American culture, you always go to the store and they call them taquitos, but they're actually flautas, and they make them out of this great, flour, cornbread, or tortilla. It depends on, every family does it differently, just because generation after generation they have this way that they've made it, and so it's just different meat and stuff that they put inside it, and they call it flautas, and there's this different toppings that they'll put on it with guacamole and all sorts of stuff, and you could just chow down those things after you've been on the bike in 115 degrees. It's humid as all get out outside. You could just keep going down on those. But my favorite food of all was in Dallas. It was this melting pot of Central America. I mean, we had people from Mexico, from El Salvador, from Honduras, Costa Rica, all over the place. I mean, even Southern America. But it was this El Salvadorian food called pupusas, and that was easily my favorite. It's like, I've heard it explained so many different ways. It's like a pancake made out of the tamale outside stuff. I totally forget what it's called. But then my favorite are pupusas revueltas, and it's like this pork with cheese inside it. And you get it with beans and cheese, you get it with beans, or you get it with just cheese. It's just the greatest. You have to try it. And so there's that. I mean, tacos. I've never been satisfied with the taco since I've gotten back from my mission. I feel like it was completely different there. I feel like it's so Americanized everywhere else I go, but it was delicious there. I never sat down to eat and was disappointed. The drinks, they're always, I remember my first day there with one of the first families I met with, they asked me if I wanted agua de melon, and my companion told me, he said, hey, yeah, it's melon water, it's like watermelon juice. And so I was expecting a whole Kool-Aid comes out and it's all green or whatever, or pink, and it's got the flavoring, but it's just basically, you take watermelon, you stick it in a blender and put a little water in it, and there you go. It's just like you're drinking a fruit. And so there was a lot of that. And the cool thing is, I just remember I got back, and it took me a while to get back into using utensils, because whenever they stick food out there, tacos, you don't use utensils anyways, but you'll have this plug of life that it comes with every plate, is you'll have just tons of rice and tons of beans, and then whatever else is with there. You have meat or vegetables or whatever else. And then in the center of the table, there's always this thing that'll hold just tons of tortillas, and so you just take the top off, take one out, and that's your utensil. So you grab some and just scoop it up and try and hold on to it, and it'll fill you up since you're eating so many tortillas. And you'll learn that flour tortillas are just an American thing too. It's always corn. I feel like Hispanic food is just a variation of corn, be it in the food or that's what you're eating or whatever, but it's delicious. So I loved it. Every single meal I sat down, I was like, this is prime. This is delicious.